I think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not trust friends.
It's never a short one, dude. Always a long one.
We can hope. We can dream.
Yeah. Fucking the world is not doing well, Chris. I don't like the things that are happening, and
Tell me about them.
So we've got a war going on. Racist grandpa went and started a war in Iran, and we're in like month one. Like a month has gone by already. I think
it really flew. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no end in sight. There's either going to be escalation, which would be absolutely disastrous, and other countries are going to get involved. Like I'm genuinely concerned about a larger regional conflict. Like what if India and China really don't like the fact that their oil imports are getting cut off in this particular instance, right? It really wouldn't take much for the great powers to start like muscling in on each other in this turf war.
Yeah.
And that concerns me. And put it, like particularly when it's energy that's going to be at stake, right? So, and like my NORAD, I'm at DEFCON 3 in my brain. I don't know if that's a good DEFCON.
This can't be the best DEFCON.
I think it goes backwards. So we might be close to the end. DEFCON system.
I like today's news of Trump saying like Iran let 10 oil ships through the Strait of Hormuz as a present to the United States. Which, like, if they did, that's trolling. That's nothing, buddy.
Yeah,
they're making fun of you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just supremely stupid. Everything about it is incredibly stupid. No actions that anyone's contemplating are going to lead to anything good. And I just kind of wanted to say it. Like, I mean, we don't need to get into it too much because we have another international crisis situation to observe or watch, as it may be.
A more important one, obviously.
I think so. Here on the Extinction Agenda with James
and Chris.
And today we're doing Watchmen issue number 3. This one, March 1987. So what does that make it? Like 39 years ago?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. How'd you feel about this one? Let's open up with the old how'd you feel conversation.
It made me laugh. I think this has got some great comedic bits in it. I think we're getting insight into Dan and oh my god, and Lori, and it's cute, and it's fine. It's I'm much more excited about future, like moving on from this one.
Yeah, I never liked this one prior. I've found its charms this time. Like since we've been going at it so slowly, I have some things to say about it, but you're kind of, I don't know. You might be right that it's not like the best of the bunch, but it does serve like important sort of thematic purposes. And I think that maybe we'll get to it, but I wonder whether or not Dan, the Night Owl, is like which character. If I had to ask myself which character is most like Alan Moore, I feel that Dan is Alan Moore's avatar in this story. Yeah, I don't know how well that stands up, but we'll kind of go through it. I just got a few ideas.
That feels intuitively true.
Yeah, and so like I'm just kind of like, maybe I'm hanging a coat on Phantom coat rack, but we'll see. So. I guess we can get into it. I already alluded to it in our previous conversation about issue 6. If my math is correct, the previous issue was 6. And we were sort of talking about the accumulation of avatars for the smiley face. And this one opens up which we had both already noticed it. It's the goggles, and the dust, the swiping of the dust. And it also like encapsulates Archie. And Archie, the airship is itself like figures for the owl, for wisdom, that kind of thing. So like already all these like extra bits are immediately added to the smiley face, but in a way that we've already kind of seen with that poster, like the issue of enlightenment and the smiley face. Something like that is at play here.
And here it kind of figures into Dan and I guess Laurie's like entry into the superhero world. Like it's almost like a portal or like the call of adventure.
Oh, that's interesting. Because it's the first thing that Laurie does is wipe the dust from it. Like she swipes where the blood on the smiley face is, as if to, like, the blood on the smiley face seems like, I mean, we haven't talked much about the theme of vision, and maybe this is a good time to, I don't know if we'll actually get into it, but at the beginning, like all the things have blood splattered all over it as if to block vision. This is maybe one of the first times we've seen the swipe motion to be revelatory. So like it instead of blocking vision, it permits vision. And I don't know if that's meaningful or whether or not that's going to like continue through the rest of the book now, but it would be really cool if it did.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of the book, but I do like one thing that just struck me about this issue is there are a lot of strange perspectives that are given to us, sort of like looking at them through the goggles themselves, or like mirrors, or like just like at a distance, like the hatch in Archie, and like everything's at a distance, almost as if they're being observed at all times, like through us. And
that way, then actually to build off of that, if the thing that is watching them is us, which that is categorically true, but like, look at page 1, panel 6. Like the costume is watching Laurie.
Yes, it's I was gonna say
yeah. So
it's us, but it's also the costume.
Yeah.
The costume is haunting them the whole time.
Just as it haunts, and oh man, this is actually going to work when we get there. This is going to work. Just as it haunts comics at this time, like it's one of the things that Moore is sort of working through, is this paraphernalia of the childhood fantasy, and it's collecting dust, but it's all the magic stuff in the background that's just been packed away, and which is precisely what Watchmen is up to. And it's as if the book is sort of mourning itself in this one.
That's cool. I actually like that a lot. Yeah. I'm circling around that through Dan, because like Dan is this figure who like he is so out of touch with the time, and like really like what this issue revolves around is the fundamental loneliness that connects both of them. But he's rich, he's isolated, he's got all these antiquated like interests and like phrases, like he calls his car a jalopy, or Archie a jalopy, and there's this fantasy that he's always been drawn to, and like when they first step into the cave, Laurie says, it's like a magician's cave, and he's like, oh no, it might have seemed like that once, but they keep calling back to those ideas of magic. Brother of Dragons.
Yes.
The issue of the title. He took his Archie's name from Merlin's pet owl in the movie, but also that dual kind of thing that's cast over this. Like Archimedes is also an inventor. Dan is an inventor. He's a guy who created like it's the bathtub displacement guy, but also like created war machines to defend his city. And there's that sort of like split angle of like, it's childhood enchantment, but it's also like Dan becomes an inventor and like someone who's very practical, like an engineer as well.
Yeah, he's really quite impressive. All told, like, because we've seen him beat the shit out of people, so there's nothing weak about him. He's built like a brick shithouse, even though he's kind of flabby, like they present him as pretty flabby and impotent. Obviously, we'll get to that. But
He's one of
he
those high
is,
body fat guys who like has tons of muscle underneath it, right? Like,
yeah, like that's the impression I got anyway. Like we see him just fucking standing like totally nude. But he's all buttoned down and kind of goofy or whatever. But like, think about all the shit that he's built, like a flying machine, and like his engineering skills are really a cut above probably everyone else. And so he is very super heroic in that way.
yeah,
Like,
aeronautics, but also like the sort of like Egyptology, like all these sort of things that like obsessed him when he was a kid.
yeah. And so he ends up being explicitly contrasted against Ozymandias, and one of them, I mean, and even in terms of like the superhero and sexual,
Prowess.
yeah, all that stuff. But like they have a lot in common. They are sort of mirrors of each other. One of them sort of lost in nostalgia, and the other one fucking weaponized nostalgia.
True, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and I think the motivations are obviously different. Like the like Dan's interest, really, what draws him out is like that idea of like the like whatever brotherhood they were gonna form, like the JLA of their time, but
The
like
crime busters.
yeah, the crime busters, and he's like, yeah, like, oh, if only that worked, it would be like being a knight of the round table. And but he's like he's so isolated and lonely beside it. Like even when he talks about like how he was drawn into crime fighting, well, like a lot of people were doing it, and there were enough of them that I didn't feel ridiculous. But like it's this sort of thing where like he's been isolated, and finally like there are these people that he can connect with.
Yeah, but he never, but he only made his connection with Rorschach.
Oh God,
and that's
bleak.
It's well, yeah, but like they used to be partners or whatever. They're friends. He decides at the end, we need to break him out of prison. And he's like, it's not just, I don't know what it is. Is he? It's because he's a loser, and he just ended up like, but he's not a loser. Like he's objectively not, but he kind of amongst that crew anyway. He's the sort of loser nerd, and he ends up like hanging around with this stinky right wing dude.
It's the inhibited thing, right? Like that's like Lori puts her finger on it. Like, damn, you're so inhibited, and like it's that sort of like the thing that holds you back from like genuinely connecting with people.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. And if like, and one of the reasons we can just get to it. Like one of the reasons I want to think about Dan as the avatar for Alan Moore is just the sheer fact that Alan Moore is such a blatant, all human violence and badness is a consequence of human repression, of like sexual repression. We fight wars because of sexual repression. We do just all the negative aspects of humanity. If we just fucked more and more freely, then everything would be cool. And he sort of genuinely believes that. And I can't help but think about that in terms of Dan, and particularly that that nightmare that he has.
Yeah.
When the bomb wipes him and Laurie away.
And it really powers him up when he does get it on. So yeah, it all tracks.
Yeah. But at the same time, like he's but more, it's this book would be kind of, it's also like on the one hand, it's mourning superheroes and its trappings, and on the other hand, it's associating sexual liberation with also like sort of like bondage suit violence people. It's a weird sort of mix that doesn't really, I don't think Moore's trying to say any of that stuff, but he's trying to say something about it.
But if the suit is like the vector of repression, like it's like it's always in the background with Dan. It's like it's like literally in his basement, like in his unconscious, and he like kind of dotes over it. He's drawn to it, but he won't he consciously disavows it as childish. When this girl comes over, and who among us is not like question their nerdly trappings when a woman is over,
Yeah.
and you're like, is this gonna play well?
Mhm.
But yeah, and like that's sort of like, oh, like you're really into this stuff, aren't you? Like he's like really like he can't allow himself to enjoy it or like to accept the praise for like his accomplishments or inventions. And
Yeah.
it just like it might as well be a bondage suit like in his closet, like
Yeah.
literally when
When
he
he puts
has
it
to
on, it's
like, yeah,
incredible.
yeah, when he comes to it, like, yeah, and then like is it good? Did the suit make it good? Yeah, it's weird to admit that. Like it's text for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. And on the one hand, that's really sort of puerile and obvious. It's been as obvious since like the fucking comics code was introduced.
Mm.
Like the sort of
Oh,
Freudian reading of superhero comics.
Wonder
Uh,
Woman and such.
yeah, it's just like so it feels it's delivered extremely well, and but it's not a revelation of anything. Like it's like he's. I think one of the reasons this comic works as well as it does so often is because it's picking up on a conversation that's probably been going on for 15 years, maybe 20 in terms of superhero comics, amongst the creators and in the underground and so on and so forth. Like this is just an expression of comics culture at that time. Obviously, Moore's a cut above a lot of everyone, and is able to do it in a very sophisticated way. But like, it can't be. I mean, we fucking read martial law, dude. It was 1985, right? So
Yeah.
this isn't new. I hope I'm right about that. I feel martial law was 1985. You vamp while I look it up.
Oh yeah. Well, I like the I think it's like
1987. Shit.
87.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Is it inspired by this? Shit, it might be. I'll have to think about the timelines and everything. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what
I'm
else
not
would
wrong.
be.
I just thought I cinched it, but I
I mean,
fucked it up.
Claremont would have been doing his stuff
Oh,
prior to
there we
this.
go. Yeah, of course. There we go. That's the obvious.
There's a class act bondage loving guy.
Oh, yeah. Mind control. But anyway.
Yeah. We
Speaking of
did.
the nightmare thing, though, I wanna point out like this. So we've been dealing with the 9-panel grid and its variations. Like maybe we'll get a 10-panel grid, or maybe we'll get a 7-panel page. But it ultimately like fits within the 9-panel grid business. The dream sequence on 16 and 17 that we've never seen throughout this book so many panels. I know it still all fits into the 9-panel grid format, but this is a lot, and we haven't seen anything close to this, like this sort of density of shifting images. I think that's just worth pointing out simply for the sake of pointing out. Like I don't think it really means anything, but it does make this book different than the others and unique.
Yeah, it's striking.
Mhm.
And again, starts with an eye or like the dance glasses. I like that. It's got that like calls
Oh
back
shit, you're right.
that Vice Vixen, or whatever he calls her. But like he's got that like little trophy case with
The
like
Twilight
mementos.
Lady.
Yeah, Twilight Lady is signed like like from one night owl to the other, and like Laurie's
Yeah.
commenting on it. He's like, oh, just she was a very sick woman. It's just that projection onto her, like the.
Oh
like,
no. Okay, journey with me to the back matter.
Okay.
So it is bottom. The owl's up in the corner, right?
Yep.
And so you go down to the bottom left. Recently, I managed to catch a dazzling glimpse of the mother lode through the accumulated dust of methodological study in academia, visiting a sick acquaintance at a hospital in Maine on behalf of a mutual friend. The mutual friend is Night Owl, and he's visiting on Night Owl's behalf to see the Twilight Lady when he sees this owl at the end.
Oh, okay.
And has this like fucking this V-bomb silence moment with it. Yeah, I initially read it the way you read it, but that bit like recontextualized the entire thing. So he's had like more. It's not just that he took the picture and he's a bit of a perv. Like he had some sort of relationship with her.
Oh, I took it that way,
Yeah,
but I didn't catch that in the back matter.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's what kept him going, I guess, is the night owl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the just the imagery there of like, like she reaches up because she's been fussing with his hair and like literally like unzips his face and like his suit's underneath, and then they're able to make intimate contact, and then the atom bomb using
Yeah.
their skeletons, which calls back that image of John, I think.
Yeah, to Dr. Manhattan, his yeah, it really does. It's and so yeah, everyone's intertwined in symbolically in this book, which is fucking not a huge observation at this point, but always worth commenting on. I think we also unique about this issue is we haven't seen an overhead shot of the city since issue 1, and we see one on page 23. I just really appreciate Dave Gibbons' capacity for perspectival shots. I said in our first issue that there's a lot of Quietly, there's a lot of Dave Gibbons in Quietly, and I think you kind of see it in panels like this.
Yeah, interesting. It's an awesome shot. It does, and the sort of like dreaminess of like this ship above the city. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's so silent. There's no trail on it or anything. It's just like this pod, like doo 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 doo, which makes Dan all the more incredible. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, how is it working? It's just zooming around your owl mobile. You're fucked, dude.
Yeah. I like, she's like whatever it's all curves and no angles, and like it's made it somehow radar proof, but like she's just so impressed by the design of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool little, I don't know, yeah, like he's got all the gadgets on it. And like providing some of the humor of the issue, like she first goes down looking for like a lighter, the dash lighter.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's right next to a picture of a missile.
Yeah.
And a fucking lightning rod or whatever. And
yeah.
But I guess she's daring do, so.
She's about to, she almost hit the surface to air. And then paid off again when she like bumps the panel as they fuck afterwards.
Yeah,
and, like flame shoots out across the city.
Yeah, no, and that's really funny and like super obvious. I don't think I don't think I really got it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I'm like I know that's dumb because I should obviously like it's the funniest sort of like it's basically like an orgasm joke.
Yeah,
that also is very. It's also presented very romantically, like, but comically, it's funny. Like this issue is pretty funny. Dan's funny. This thing's very humane. This is a very humane issue.
Yeah. The like that, I think possibly the funniest bit in Watchmen. I'm trying to think if there are others as I say that, but the ironic contrast again. Take a drink. Of when Vite is on TV, and then they're like she makes her move on him, but like it's his triumphant return to acrobatics, and like the sort of narrative over that as he's experiencing impotence.
Yeah,
been a while since I've done this.
Yeah, and she's just so kind about it because like it really does. It doesn't matter. I know how it is when something's not right. We'll sleep now, okay? Like it's immediately very loving. Like she doesn't give him a shitty time for that.
No, she tucks him in.
Yeah. which is I don't know, it's a little motherly, but
Yeah.
that's fine. um Yeah, and he's kind of like what I kind of like about this and Dan in this is that he's a fucking psychopath, in a kind of a way, like I don't know, or maybe a sociopath. He's not a psychopath. He's definitely like basically he sleepwalks nude. He's not really sleepwalking, but he's night walking, right? To go downstairs and put on his night vision goggles and stand nude in the dark. You know, like he's just looking around, and then he doesn't take them off when she turns on the light or whatever. Like,
No, that's where it's right.
yeah,
Yeah, I think he says like when he shows her the goggles,
mhm.
whenever it's dark, I would put them on and everything looked just about perfect. So it's like that
Oh yeah,
again, and tying back into that, like it's the smiley face, it's the entry into like the superhero adventure. Yeah, bringing him back
yeah,
around. So yeah, he's got to wear those goggles.
yeah. Well, he needs to see in the dark, and it's so
Yeah.
dark. It's really dark, and honestly, and we can put a pin in this until because we know that Dan's going to make sort of a Faustian bargain at the end of this. He doesn't actually, well, I don't know, he gets a moral vision in that moment. You know, everything's dark, but now I see. And I need to put on this pervert suit and fly around in my pod, save people. And I don't know, that's all. I just will keep in, like, once he puts the goggles on, he just knows what he has to do. You know, we're gonna go get Rorschach out of the thing. We're gonna do this. He becomes, I feel, actually, I guess we'll see, but I get the impression that he's gonna be kind of there's gonna be a complication though, but he still thinks things through. I do have a sinking feeling though that Rorschach is gonna overshadow him in terms of planning or actions or something like that, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, I know. Yeah, I feel like the final moral conundrum comes down to Rorschach, like in the book. It's the thing that I always remember from the end.
Yeah. I just meant in terms of like their tactics and shit like that. You know?
Okay, yeah.
You might be right. This might be a short conversation.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's yeah, it's character glue, right? Like it's just another bridge kind of episode.
Yeah. I would like to say though that it is earlier we got the sex was portrayed as sexual violence. There wasn't anything loving in any of the sexual depictions. We're getting much more hippie Alan Moore in this instance. Like they're very comfortable being nude around each other. They're just now that they've found their kink, they're just banging away on Darla romantically. And it's on the face of it kind of healthy. They're expressing themselves. They've moved out from, she's moved away from Dr. Manhattan. He's moved away from, I don't know, crushing self-pity or no, it's not self-pity. What is it? It's the lack of self-confidence.
It's like, he's got so much confidence after really once he puts the costume back on and like the goggles, for the most part.
Yeah.
She's really important into bringing it out though. Like, even like when he's talking about like, oh, what are we going to do? Like go and jump in a ship. She's like, why not? I'm, made a lot of dumb decisions in costumes late at night. So yeah, she's the one who kind of spurs him to action.
And action, she spurs him in too. What a dog. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, unless you have. I guess there's the back matter. Unless there's like, do you have anything else like in the subject?
I really glazed over the back. No, I don't think I do. Yeah, I think this one's pretty self-contained and like just a little bit of a break for in terms of the intensity for Moore's and Gibbons as well. Oh, actually, Gibbons is turning in fine work in this really, and I mean Moore's too. But I mean like, yeah, I feel like there's some really great moments here, like in the angles that Gibbons chooses and like just the way that he depicts these things. Probably a lot of that is so like scripted out by Moore anyway, but.
It's true. It's almost certainly like completely described. The back matter is, I think if anyone's going to read it, I would just suggest that if you replace the word bird with superhero, then I think you have a treatise that your comics fan is going to easily understand in the context of Watchmen. And beyond that, and the sick mutual friend thing, otherwise it's basically, this scientific article, I would say, it encapsulates or reflects Dan's repression, and particularly sexual repression, and figures it in the subject of birds, but is actually talking about superheroes and wanting to fuck. That's
the profile.
That's it.
And that's why you got to reconnect with Rorschach.
That's right. Quick, you got to fucking stop being so soft and woke, man.
Yeah.
All right, next time.
You send chills right through me when I look at you, 'cause you're my thrill. You're my thrill. How my pulse increases. I just go to pieces when I look at you, 'cause you're my thrill. Nothing seems to matter. Here's my heart on a silver platter. Where's my will? Why this strange desire that keeps mounting higher? When I look at you, I can't keep still. You're